Hey everybody, Gerald Spore here, and I'm here with a special guest. I had the pleasure of fishing with this man right here, Mickey Ellis. And if you don't know who Mickey Ellis is, it's probably because you don't throw big swim baits. Mickey Ellis is known across the whole country from the West Coast to the East Coast, and he's famous for, he is the founder and inventor of the line through swim bait. This one right here is called the Rising Sun. You've seen guys win tournaments on these, and if they didn't openly express that they caught them on this, they probably caught them on this anyway. So this is where it all came from. The company's called 316 Swimbaits. I'm swimming out to John 316.
John 316.
And yeah, and this is Mickey Ellis, and he's going to talk to you about what got him here, what made him who he is in the swim bait world today. Not only does he have that, he has that. In the glide bait world, this is on another level, and he showed me why. We threw multiple glide baits today. He has this awesome looking wake bait. That thing's impressive.
That one's taking out a lot.
It is top water. So this, and then he has this one. This one's called the Workhorse.
Workhorse. The Gizzard Glide.
And the Gizzard Glide. So I'll let you kind of explain to everybody what your deal is.
All right. So long story short, I was like everybody else and just was trying to find my way around in life. I went from custom building Harleys to making fishing lures. Ended up reading the Bible from cover to cover 25 years ago, and changed my life. Became a Christian and had to let go of a lot of bad stuff I was doing, and asking God, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do now? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't live like this. So I heard an audible voice literally tell me to make lures. Just 2 words. And I remember dropping the F-bomb, like, who says that? And what do you mean? So long story short, next day on the way home, I grabbed some balsa wood, X-Acto knife, and some glue and stuff, and went home and started making trinkets and stuff. And fell in love with swim baits, and I bought a 7-inch and a 9-inch, one for me and one for my buddy. I tried to pawn the 9-inch off on him, and he's like, no. So I had to fish the 9-inch. My second cast, I caught a 7-pounder. And I was done. So I invented the mission fish, and I made it in '98. Fished it for 2 years, and finally sold it at the Fred Hall Show in 2000. And it was the first weedless swim bait in the world, and it was the first line through swim bait in the world. And that bait is responsible for catching Dottie at 21 pounds 11 ounces by Jed Dickerson. His buddy Mac caught a week before 19-pound 8-ounce bass on it, and so anyways, that bait I still sell today. And then in 2003 I made the Rising Sun. The Rising Sun is probably, I can't get rid of it. I mean, only thing I fish is swim baits. Only thing I do is make swim baits. That's it. 24/7. That's it.
He's got it dialed in because we threw multiple glide baits, and to see the comparison between a $25 glide bait that's supposed to be pretty good and one of his glide baits, you can definitely tell the difference between the quality, the consistency. You're known for your consistency.
I'm known for my
So he
consistency.
hand builds every one of these glide baits. This doesn't come out of a machine. This isn't mass production. He hand builds them. You said you build about 100 at a time, huh?
Yeah, I do batches of 100.
Batches of 100, and he said it takes him a long time to do that. You build them like once a year. You go hard.
So I'll rotate them. And what I'll do is I'll build this glide bait. I'll build it once a year, like Wake Juniors. You just showed a picture.
Yep, this is the Wake Junior.
The Wake Junior. I hadn't made those in 3 years. So I just did a pre-order on it, and this is one of the ones I made for my store, that's the Lake Fork Special Colored. And again, this is from 2003. And you make stuff right, and it just doesn't go away.
This thing's cool. So he really considers it a topwater bait, and he showed me. He's like, I want you to cast it, and then you tell me how you would fish it.
Right.
And I just cast it. My natural instinct was just to reel it and let it do its thing, which was cool looking. It looked great doing that. He goes, no. Let me show you how you catch the big ones on it. Yep. And he slow waked this thing on the top, and this bait was clunking, clunk, 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 and it was just barely moving on the top. And he said right there, that'll get you blasted. And then he was twitching it almost like a spook,
Yep.
and making the thing walk the dog and making a lot of commotion, which would be great on a really windy day like today. If you want to catch him on something like that, that's probably what you want to do to fish it, right?
Yeah.
And make the commotion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it works. So my techniques were developed in clear water. And remember, I'm only after big fish. I'm not after numbers, which is your job, right?
Yeah.
Not me. I go for one bite, and I don't care if I get bit. I just
Right.
go for broke. So my techniques are developed. Remember, I keep trying to slow it down, and big fish act way different than little fish. So that being said, the bait was set up for slow, and it's like to me, it's the most versatile topwater bait there is a wake bait. Period. I don't care if it's mine or somebody else's. I would say one of the greatest wake baits there is MS Slammer. It's a wood bait, like Sean makes it. It's just, I would tell guys that it's $180 right there for that bait. So I would tell guys that balk at that, I would go get a Slammer then, because it's a great bait, and it's a wood bait.
So we're here this week for Heavy Hitters, Major League Fishing Heavy Hitters Tournament. The way Heavy Hitters works, they take our biggest fish from each event, and then they make an accumulative 7-fish stringer, and that's how you qualify for Heavy Hitters. They take the top 30 biggest 7-fish bags, and we get to fish this championship. So only 30 of us are here this week, and a big fish in the elimination round is worth $25,000 for Group A and $25,000 for Group B. We move on to the knockout round, where big fish becomes $50,000 fish, and then when we get to the championship round, one bite is $100,000. And so that's why I took the time. I came up here early and I said I'm going to spend a little bit of time with Mickey this week just to get tuned up on these big fish baits on these East Texas lakes, because you never know. So I'm going to have these baits tied on this week at Heavy Hitters. We're fishing Lake Palestine. So hopefully,
Going for broke.
I got my PB on Lake Palestine.
Did you really?
Yeah, we think it was about a 12-pounder. I
Okay.
didn't weigh it,
Yeah.
and I caught it on a little bitty square bill.
Okay.
But I know right where I caught it. I'm going to throw.
Going right back there.
Even though it was a few years ago, I'm going to throw one of these big baits
I don't blame you.
across that point and see if it happens.
Well, I fish with a lot of guys, man, and you can fish.
I
So I'm
appreciate
not
it.
worried about your fishing skills. I'm just worried about the fish cooperating.
Yeah, these big baits,
It's pretty neat, huh?
it's neat.
Yeah.
It's all about having confidence in these big baits, though. You have to have the confidence to go out there and you know one's going to bite it. And this is go to the lake one day and only bring these big baits.
Yep.
This is pretty much all you have.
As a matter of fact, I was trying to talk you into doing what you did, like throw some normal stuff that you would throw, because I just want to see what it looked like. Professional guy does it. You're like, nope, we're throwing swim baits all day.
Yeah, I came here to fish with the best swim bait fisherman in the world, and I'm not going to sit there and do my normal thing. I'm trying to learn from him this week. And,
It was fun, too.
It was fun. It was impressive. We saw some great fish come after the bait, and a lot of times these baits just really, a lot of people use them as search baits.
Yeah,
just
especially
to
the
see
guys that
fish.
are trying to catch bedfish. You know, when the wind picks up, they'll run them down the banks. And it is windy. I don't know if she can pan out there and show you guys how windy that is.
We apologize. This was the best place we can get to get you this interview right here.
Without dying.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to take a minute and introduce Mickey for the ones that don't know Mickey. Talk about his baits for a minute. Talk about why they're special. And
You guys can find me at 316lurecompany.com, Instagram 316lure, and Facebook 316lure. And if you're fans of him, we're friends, man. This is a great guy. I had a blast. I had a lot of fun, and I learned some really cool stuff. So it was pretty neat.
Yeah, I can't wait to catch a $100,000 fish on one of these baits. So next, I'm going to try to convince him to come down to South Louisiana. Once the bass fishing kind of slows down a little bit this summer, like come down to South Louisiana, we're going to try to throw one of these big, expensive lures and see if we can get a yellowfin tuna.
We're going to throw $500 swim baits at fish that rip things in half.
Oh, man. All right, everybody, so give him a follow. Go check out his baits. And
Thank you, everybody.
if you have any question about if these baits are legit or not, just go get on some forums and read about them. And I'm sure you can just Google it. There's tons of articles. Or just,
I'm pretty legit, though.
He's pretty legit.